Welcome to Game Changer 00100 channel. Please hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell on your way in. Please wait while the host prepare the show.
My bad. I was muted. All right. But I got a question. And that question is, why isn't the people that's attacking the manosphere, how come they never attacked, I don't know, Andrew Tate, King Richie, Mediocre Tutorial and Reviews, Brittany Renner, Auntie Wanda? How come they are not attacking the person and people who actually sat on her couch and ate clementines with her on her show? I find that fascinating. Like this is the worst case of attacking the wrong group of people since the war in Iraq. Keeping it a buck. For whatever reason, something happened with people, not likely not, official representatives of the government or something like that, with a group of people who's from a different country than Saddam Hussein. And they were like, let's attack Saddam Hussein. Just saying. Just saying. It kind of has that feel. The manosphere has little to nothing to do with Pearl, yet we was the primary attack when it came to Jason Black and Oshay Duke Jackson. And trust me, we're going to get into the details of that. But I just find that fascinating. It really says something. What it says is we are the most vulnerable. And we are the most vulnerable because, how can I say this? We're the most hated by Black women. You see, extremely successful YouTubers have a healthy balance of men and women. And this is all of the aforementioned people, and we could throw Kevin Samuels in that lot too. They have a healthy balance, somewhere between, somewhere around 50-50. They have a healthy balance of men and women. So if you want to maximize your potential, you have to get that balance. And, many manospheres not going to do that simply because we are critical of women. Now, what a lot of people are doing now to the manosphere is getting on women's good side by crapping on the manosphere when they have opportunity to do so. You see, you no longer have to do this whole queen, oh my thing. No, there was a hidden compromise. And that hidden compromise is, okay, you don't have to be all queen, Mother Earth goddess. But you can't be manosphere. You have to renounce that. You have to renounce all association with it in order for me to support you in any way. Basically, so it's all about support. And we're going to get into the details of how I've come to this conclusion. Now, here, what's going on? +4, hold on. Okay, here we go. But we're going to get into, the thick of it. Because I listened to MTR and I have my opinions on what he had to say about the JustPearlyThings situation. And he should really be one of few people who actually speak on it because he's actually associated with it. And he has a very, very interesting take on it. And I want to share. And then I want to give a compare and contrast between him and Oshay Duke Jackson's response. Okay, somebody said Oshay called for a united front. Okay. When do pro-blacks ever unite on anything? Like, when do the various factions of pro-blacks ever unite on anything ever? We'll get into that later. All right, so let me share screen. All right, and fair use all. Here, turn this up a bit. Oh, the volume. There we go. Pump up the volume. All right, here we go.
I wish you luck, and
I don't. Wow, I really don't. I don't wish luck to racists.
Oh, I'm not racist.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Nick.
Yeah, I am a little bit racist.
And the Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh, hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a black guy.
I'm not going to beat around the bush for this conversation. I'm going to get straight to the point. Pearl, you f***ed up. You knowingly invited a white supremacist and a self-proclaimed racist onto a platform which is primarily supported by, at least initially, and produced by Black people. This comes across as insensitive to downright nasty. And I want to be clear.
Now, he forgot to put the word stupid in there. He forgot to do that. Forgot to put the word stupid in there. Now, Pearl, at least it was likely her, but sometimes people fake avatars and tweak names and stuff. But apparently she was in Bernard's, chat room the other day. Salute to him. Just giving her side of the story, chat by chat. And part of it is that she's not majority supported by Black people, and there's a lot of people. Shout out to Mr. Fantastic and others who even Bernard Riley, who want to just like hide behind the fact that she has a majority audience and kind of downplay Black people's contribution to her success. Listen, Bernard, Fantastic, you're my dudes, but listen. That's like you have a owner of an NBA basketball team whose players is Black, and he could say like the majority of the people that come see my team play, they're white people. No, make no mistake. You are benefiting from Black talent. You are benefiting from the Black players, the Black fathers that fathered these players, the Black mothers that fed these players, the Black shoe makers that make their shoes. You are benefiting from Blackness. You are benefiting from Black talent, just like Pearl is. It doesn't matter that the majority of the people who are watching Black people are white. That means nothing. If you are the owner of a show that shows primarily Black people, then you are benefiting from Black people. That's like Maury Povich. The majority of my audience is white. Make no mistake, you are benefiting from Black effery. So, had to get that off my chest. All right. Salute to Bernard and Fantastic.
Here, it's not just inviting said person to the conversation that's upsetting, because conversations with people who don't agree with each other or don't agree with a particular position, if done in a healthy way, can promote civil discourse. But your up was to not only not defend the people who helped create the content on your platform, but to also push a narrative that is insensitive and damaging to those very same people. Pearl, you know that your staff is mostly Black people. And I'm talking about from a production perspective as well as a talent perspective. You also know that the majority of your content utilizes Black people talking about Black relationship issues. You could have had Black people
True.
sitting in the same room with this person in order to combat some of the hellacious things that were coming out of his mouth, or to have a different perspective that would have lent itself well to demonstrate the respect for the people that watch your content and that you employ.
Okay, Pearl. Here's a pearl of wisdom. You got to know yourself. Shout out to Sweet Melody Speaks. You got to know yourself. I'm going to say why I shout out to her first. If you are a polite person and you know that you are a polite person, this is where the know yourself thing comes in. Do not invite a white supremacist on your show, because the ultimate outcome is you are going to be polite to a white supremacist. That is the only outcome that's possible, because you are a polite person. Like Jerry Springer did it. Maury Povich did it. You know, these are white people who bring like Klansmen and stuff like that, you know, on the show. Even Alex Haley interviewed, you know, shout out to him. He interviewed a white supremacist. None of these people want to be seen being nice with them. None of these people want to be seen being polite with them. So know that, you know, and look, I don't know if you are a nice and polite person. I will say that she was extremely nice and polite to this guy. And that is not a good look. And what it does look like is, and I didn't realize this until MTR just brought it up, is that you kicked all the black people off so you can have a white dude up. And so he can have carte blanche to say stuff. I'll get into that later. Remember, carte blanche to say stuff, ellipsis.
I don't think that your platform would be as big as what it is today if it wasn't for the essential utilization of Black people, Black relationship topics.
Exactly. The NBA and NFL would not be as big as it is today if it wasn't for Black people. And you could say 90% of the people who buy tickets are white. No, I don't care. They would not be buying those tickets if you had a bunch of Asians there. Let's not be obtuse.
And Black talent. And the talent came from all over. When you include the likes of an Andrew Tate, all the way down to a Brittany Renner. And even from a content creator perspective, from me to a Melanie King, to a Sarah Garvey, to a King Riches, to an Auntie Jenny. So for those just unaware of what's been going on, Pearl has recently come under fire for these particular comments.
I'm trying to get my Africans and American, my Africans. Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
They're gonna get in trouble. This sounds similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do, is they embellish. And I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was.
Right.
But they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
Now,
I don't even know what to say about that. That was that really falls into the extreme. Hit the like button, people. That really falls into like an extreme stupidity category. An extreme stupidity category. So those of you who are from where I'm from and you're around my age, you might remember when Schindler's List came out, and in the 90s, and they played it, and there was a field trip from a school that wasn't mine. And this school, I don't know if they were high schoolers or no, it was high schoolers, but they went and saw the movie and they were laughing. And they got kicked. It made the news. They got kicked out. They were booed and stuff like that. And that's just for being stupid. So then what happened was, okay, we had to save face. Black people in Oakland in general had to save face. It made national news. You did something stupid, real stupid. So we're going to do it again, and we're going to do it right. And the truth of the matter is, we were extremely uneducated about that, not really that period of time and that place in time, but we were extremely uneducated by their perspective of it. See, when we think of WW2, we're thinking more of, Joe Louis and people like that, and you're thinking about it from our perspective, and also the soldiers' perspective. Pearl Harbor, we got all of that. I mean, there's a lot to unpack with that period of time. One thing that really wasn't touched on, especially to the Black people in my place in time, was that aspect. So we were extremely undereducated. Atomic bomb and stuff like that. So there was a lot going on, and we're students and with no internet. So, and I'm trying to defend these other young people. So they could rightly claim ignorance, but laughing at anybody suffering is just immature. So what they did was they re-educated us, and then they sent the honor students. And I went, and then you get like a different perspective. So she is extremely undereducated on that, with her Alex Haley comment. And he's about to touch on this, but I just want to say this before that. She's extremely undereducated on it, with that comment. And I really, 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 really doubt that she's seen Roots. If there was a person, the people who was born the day Alex Haley Roots came out are now at least twice her age. And just like, to the people who were born in the 80s, just like you probably haven't seen many, movies from the 1950s, I truly doubt that she actually seen Roots. Now I'm going to play it.
Crazy is that I came across these comments while I was live streaming a couple of days ago. And what started out as a laughy, jokey live stream where I wanted to talk about my time up in London quickly diverted to one of the worst live streams that I've ever had in my life. And honestly, it was a trip to hell as I discovered the magnitude of the conversation that she had with this figure by the name of Nick Fuentes, specific to the comments regarding slavery being embellished. I said this on the stream, and I maintain it today, that Pearl needs to be held responsible for this comment, likening a quote from the writer of Roots explaining a myth for his people to hold on to does not negate the documented history of the atrocities that happened to Black people. And I'd argue that Roots was a light depiction of the savagery that my forefathers had to go through to ensure that I would be here today.
And that is what I completely agree with. I completely agree with that statement. Roots is light. Light. Listen, anything that you can play in the early 90s between Perfect Strangers and Full House is going to be light. Anything that has a Domino's commercial in the middle of it is going to be light. Anything, y'all remember the Annoyed and he be on the thing and he goes around annoying people? And y'all remember the 7-Up commercial where they had the spot and, you know, the spot did things, you know, like 7-Up on the spot or something like that? Yeah, if they're putting that commercial in it, it is light. It is light. It came out on network television. It is light. She didn't see it. She didn't. Don't talk about the stuff you haven't seen. Because then most of the time you're gonna look stupid. Hold on, let me read some super chats. All right, appreciate you. I think this is my first time seeing you here. Andrew and Andrea, love crossing borders. Appreciate you. I think that's about $10. Appreciate you. A lot. Thanks. I'm just going off the color. I really don't know. Yeah. All right. And Uncle Stu, old man on the block. Appreciate you too, brother. Appreciate you. That is light. And this comes from somebody who, to be quite honest, am fascinated with that time period. For a number of reasons, I do read, like, 12 Years a Slave and Diary of a Slave Girl, but the best read in that particular topic, as far as understanding the time frame, comes from Frederick Douglass. My Bondage, My Freedom. I love reading that stuff, and all of those was worse than any episode of Roots. All of it was worse than any episode of Roots, any one of them. I swear. I'm wondering if I should go through my library, but then it's going to be downtime when I'm flipping through the pages. But see, not only is the stories that they tell about their own experience, and this isn't from Alex Haley who says yeah, my great grandmother told my great grandfather and the great grandmother. These are the people who were actually there. Frederick Douglass was actually there. He is. Oh damn! I literally spilled milk. All right. He escaped. He is like Sullivan North. These people escaped. They escaped it. They were there. Roots was Disneyland compared to what they was talking about. Yeah, I haven't read Amistad because I'm not as interested in the passage, but I'll read it. I'll add it to the list. But nevertheless, it was always worse. It was always worse. And these are the people who aren't even talking about like how it affected them. No, these are like when you read these books, for those of you who haven't, these are easy reads. When you read these books, the side stories are worse sometimes than the main story. Because these are generally autobiographies, it'll be something like, yes, in my torment as a slave. Now let me tell you about the story of BoJack, and then his crap is worse than. It's like, dang, if they really wanted to just make this whole narrative about slavery and this and this, it would not be Roots. Okay, it would not be Roots. For her to say that was an exaggeration to get people riled up, no, you're stupid. Watch and or read Roots. Oh, and not to mention, all of the like stories. Now I didn't read these firsthand, but okay, so apparently, like I think somewhere like around 1920s or something, when they started getting audio recording technology, when they started getting all that, right? And what they did was they, before, because they were getting later in years, I'm sure, they started talking to the slaves, to people who were still alive who endured slavery. And that shit was far worse than Roots. Are you kidding me? I mean, and I hate to say it, this is going to sound bad, but I mean, from what you hear in this stuff and what you read when you read, Roots is like the Disneyland of slavery. So Pearl, you're stupid. And listen, don't do stuff. Okay.
Let me explain a little bit further how thoroughly that this actually is, because for me, it comes down to a question of ethics. You're interviewing a known Nazi sympathizer and an anti-Black creator and not offering any pushbacks whatsoever. And in fact, you're adding in your own fake news regarding the embellishment or the exaggeration of slavery. Additionally, there are times within the conversation where it's laughy, it's jokey, it's kikiing, especially when you got specific in certain comments that reflected on CP time. And let me also say this, is that generally CP time is something that's laughed amongst people of melanation, but it's not taken as a joke when you're doing it with a person who is a self-proclaimed racist.
Thank you. Spot on. See, all of this, and this is even when a Black person does it. And people like, oh, you're giving her a pass because it's white, or you're not. Listen, even if it was a Black person doing it, it would still come out as some coon shit. It would still be viewed as negative.
Now that I've had the opportunity to digest all of the information, now that I'm not on live stream with thousands of people looking at me, in the back of my mind, thinking towards the tens of thousands that are waiting for the perfect reaction from me, I begin to question why you didn't sympathize with the plight of African Americans or Black people in general. And not once in the interview did you have at least one pro-Black stance or some form of ethical defense or cultural sensitivity for the people who carry your production machine forward, or the people that you know that watch your channel. That's questionable at the very least, and it shows to me a degree of misguided that you are regarding our culture, and that you have some introspection to do, and you have to find a newfound respect for understanding more about the people that work for you, or who a component of the content is made for. The embellishment of slavery is where you display the true level of your insensitivity and lack of understanding about the culture that you...
Lack of understanding is light-skinned, polite way of saying stupid. But the message is the same. Okay, I got to cash up. But the message is the same, and that is, it's stupid. See, there's time and place and context to say certain jokes, even inappropriate jokes. That was the wrong all of it, to say that particular joke. It is. So here, let me read this right quick, and then I'm going to talk about what's on the screen right now. So Randy Watson, greatly appreciate you. Thanks for the and I'm not making it up. Randy Watson, like on Coming to America. I appreciate you. Appreciate the cash app. So he's mirroring what I was saying about her. And that is, I don't want to say slow. I don't want to say, I don't even want to say stupid. I would venture towards socially unadjusted, combined with passive, combined with like an outcast syndrome. Now, GD was saying she's stupid and we shouldn't be watching her. I mean, watch if you watch if you do or don't. But I mean, like, why ever you watch her that's the reason that you watch it. Like watch if you want. And I'm gonna get into that. It's in because I watch stupid people. Like, I'm trying to think of an instance when, like, I watch somebody stupid do. Like, if you find something like that entertaining, then why not really? I mean, but then again, you're supporting a view that's a detriment. So I see what you're saying, but the stupidity wouldn't be the reason. The reason to not watch somebody like that, if you feel that they're that way, is because you would empower somebody to influence society in a potentially extremely bad way. So yeah, there is that problem. All right, hit that like button.
You've immersed yourself in, whether you like it or not. Pearl, at the end of the day, you're f***ed up. I completely, as I said on that stream, denounce your statements. And I believe that you need to be held completely accountable for your words and your actions. And I want you to do it for the sake of my history, for the sake of my community, for the sake of my audience, and the people who have followed me and will continue to follow me, Pearl. The people that found you through my channel because of these actions. And Pearl, we had a one-on-one conversation before I recorded this video. And I told you can no longer work with you. We had a dating show that was in the pipeline, and I was super excited about releasing this content on your platform and then cutting it up and putting it up on my platform and reacting to it. We did great content up there. But along with these statements that have come up, I no longer feel comfortable in having that dating show footage released along with the other content that was recorded up there onto your platform. I plan in the future not to release more content up onto the channel regarding my time in London. And to be honest, frankly, it really sucks because I had a lot that I wanted to be able to speak about. And again, to my community, to my audience, to the people who have followed me and will continue to follow me into the future, I have to take personal accountability for my working relationship with Pearl. And trust me when I say I take full ownership and full accountability.
All right. See, MTR, that's really all you need from me. Because what people are trying to do, the Jason Black types, is they want to hold people accountable for past associations. And they do that, but here's the twist with people like Jason Black and Oshay. They're holding people accountable for past non-associations. Like he's like, listen, I associated with it, and trust me, in this space, I associated with so many people that turned out to be fucked up. So it's like, listen, now that I know that they fucked up, now that I know that they got this going on, I don't associate them with them anymore. And y'all know this shit. Y'all know this too. Who the fuck I do not associate with anymore? Like niggas like that. It's like, listen, once I find out that you a bitch or a nigga or a bitch nigga, that's it. That's it. You do not see me fucking with them anymore. Exactly. like the Penguin. Like, I mean, you know, and I shouldn't call, but nevertheless, niggas like that. Listen, it's nothing. But I mean, for you to say, oh, but you used to fuck that, fuck you. See, when people do stuff like that, they're just looking for a way to take you down. They're just looking for a way, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, you the one who let Pookie into the Carter apartments. And now that he turned out to be an informant, the shit's so, it's like, whoa. Don't get me wrong, we could screen, but you know, we could screen for people reasonably, but sometimes somebody is just gonna get through. When you do, you check that person and then you move the fuck on. That's how that works. But and also notice that they're not coming at him. They're not coming at him. You see, here's the thing. They're picking their enemies. They're picking their challengers and shit. And I'm talking about like the Jason Blacks and the MTR. Why? Because, okay, here's an example. Here's the example. You want to know who else flip-flopped? Cynthia G. For those of you who don't know, Cynthia G used to be deep into this pro-black crowd. She used to be deep into it, you know. She used to rub elbows and probably rubbed a couple other things with Tariq Nasheed. You know, with all the top pro-blacks and stuff like that, right? And then she flip-flopped. And she turned into the Cynthia G that we've seen today. But who's going to Tariq Nasheed saying, you know, oh shit, you know, you are responsible for all the fuck shit that Cynthia G is saying now? Nope, they don't do that. They only fuck with channels like mine, and I'm gonna get into that, you know.
I had absolutely no idea of the comments that were made in the Nick Fuentes interview. And had I known this prior to, I would not have gone to London. I did not know about this until I came back. And then I went and did a live stream, and then my supporters let me know. For everyone else out there who's ever supported the platform and sent super chats, and for everyone who has been affected by this situation, like I said, I take full accountability. For those of you guys that have followed my platform for a long time, do understand that I've selected, at least I thought I've selected with a fine-tooth comb who I have chosen to work with. And you guys already know, it hasn't been a lot of people, okay? I've also have a no beef policy on my platform because I think it does us no good to continue to promote fights and spats.
Exactly.
I'm all about delivering value at the end of the day. But as a man in this space,
exactly. That's why you don't catch me beefing just to beef. And trust me, I used to do that, you know. But that's why you catch me beef. That's why you don't catch me doing that shit. Going back and forth with other black men. Listen, that's people do that, you know, for y'all. They do that for y'all people who, you know, like it's 120 people, or it's like around a little over 100 people watching right now, and but when I'm beefing, you know, it's the shit fill up, the stadium fill up. They do that for y'all. I don't listen. This I'm about getting a message out. I ain't got time to go back and forth. But once somebody take that and try to make it into a weakness, then I'll do that shit, you know, temporarily, and then I'll move the fuck on. You know, shout out to Ramil. When he had beefs back in the day, when he had beefs, he would do just like one stream, put that straight on Patreon, and that was it. He's not giving that person any more shine. So I agree with MTR on that.
I got to take full ownership and full accountability. And along with my accountability, this is now my definitive stance. I can no longer support or associate myself with the Just Pearly Things.
You are not accountable. She is not your fucking slave. She is not your child. See, men, black men, we got to get over it. You are not accountable for the actions of somebody you do not have power over or control over. You're not. Now, going forward, you know, you would be as stupid as her to continue. And I think Obsidian is that stupid, but we'll get into that. But you would be as stupid as her if you continued associations with her. You know, and that is provided that she might even be able to get out of it by pleading ignorance. Because it is ignorant as fuck. She might be able to get out of it that way, but chances are, yeah.
Platform. And for those who still wish to continue to support voices of women that are down into the space who agree with the particular message that we put up on Jump Street, I want you guys to go check out and follow the following female content creators. All right, I got a list of their names right here. I don't want to forget anybody. Chantel Simone, The Crimson Cure, Danica Marie, Six the Goddess, Melanie King, and of course, Shahrazad Ali. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews at gmail.com. What you guys think about this particular conversation? Leave your comments down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Until next time, YouTube. Peace!
I wish you luck, and you know,
I don't. Wow. I really don't. I don't wish luck to racists.
You see, that's funny. Whoever this chick is. Because what she's doing is she's highlighting Pearl's naivete. She's basically saying, why are you wishing you aren't supposed to listen? If it's in your personality to be nice, polite to everybody, then stay the fuck away from white supremacists, at least on camera, because you will be seen being nice, polite. She's like, I wish you luck, which is something people say to be nice and polite. But she's like, listen, I don't. Why in the fuck are you wishing somebody luck? You luck in what? You know, like if I say I wish you luck, it's like I wish you luck on your basketball game or some crap like that. I want you to win. So if she's wishing him luck, if he wins, who loses? This goes into that naivete. Don't say shit. She made it clear, I do not wish you luck. Everything you do, I want to see fail.
Oh, I'm not racist.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Nick.
Yeah, I am a little bit
Yeah,
racist.
I know.
But listen, but it's not because I hate people. I love people. It's just race is real. Race is real. Race is a part of us. So, hey, it is what it is.
And the Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh.
And notice how this chick, whoever she is, right? She wants to disassociate herself from him as much as possible. Pearl, on the other hand, seems to be a lot more comfortable with reasonable association.
Oh, hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a black guy. The Italians don't claim me. They don't claim you.
Oh, no, they claim me. They claim me.
I don't think so.
They do.
Italian guys, yeah. Tell an Italian guy about your affinity for black guys. That'll go over real well.
I think he might be retarded. I think he might be retarded. Yeah. Now, I mean, because I don't know this dude, but it does seem like he's a combination of homosexual and mentally challenged.
Good one, Nick.
Maybe some brajol. There's a Italian.
No, but I will make my black boyfriend some of that.
Oh, wow. You don't know any better.
You don't want to see me get vexed. Boss on your phone telling me you can't.
Okay, so that's that. Now, like I say in the title, that that this is a comparison, right? Where I'm going to compare his reaction to Oshay's reaction. But before I do that, let me show y'all something else that caught my attention on Oshay's. And then I'll go into the video. All right, give me a second. Hit that like button while I do this. All right. Okay. Here we go. And then I'm going to do a separate video about the pro-blacks. Okay, it says, after how Negroes simp for just pearly things. What are you talking about? I am completely out of the black manosphere forever. Okay, well, whatever. All right. No hard feelings. Hotep, hotep, hotep. Now I'm giving all my energy to pro-blacks. Move over, Dr. Umar Johnson. You got competition. I don't really care about the first part. It's the last sentence that's really telling about the mentals of Oshay. And YouTube is a competition to him. It's a competition to him. See, he don't seek to join or reinforce or work with or collab with black men. He comes into a space like, hey, move over. I'm taking this shit. Like, wait, what? So people call it Highlander syndrome or whatnot, but what you have to like, how about I'm looking forward to doing a collaboration with Dr. Umar. Like, hey, I'm gonna open up a school in Uganda, just like he's opening one up in wherever, or something like that. But nope. It's like move over. There's only room for one. That is what pro-blacks do. That's why there's so many different subsets. And the truth be told, it was done in the manosphere as well. Like people are like, okay, you're manosphere 1.0, I'm 2.0, and I'm 3.0. It's like, wait, what the hell? See, people divide themselves because others want to be leaders of the smaller portion. So now he's going to take that shit to the pro-blacks. Like, I'm not going to work with you. I'm going to work against you. You got competition. Not you got support, or anything like that. You got competition. I'm here to compete with you. So that's a little bit of an insight on the mindset that we're dealing with. Now we're going to go to what he said in his most recent, not live stream, but his most recent pre-record about that, because he did a live stream. I didn't want to watch it. It was hours long, and I know I told you I would cover something like that, and maybe I will, but I didn't really feel like putting in hours.
The last 24 hours for me.
Okay. So. Oh, and by the way, if he's still here, shout out to Ramil. And shout out to Ramil, and shout out to Silent Lamont. And yeah, Ramil is on some like divide and shit going on with the manosphere, but let's put that aside for a second, right? the way he conducts business. And Sub-Zero to Theo Waff, salute to them. But those are tech people, and it's not really okay. I'm going to focus on Ramil and Silent Lamont for a second, because they work in real estate. I mean, they both have, several streams of income, but I'm going to stick with the real estate aspect from it. Listen, they're more of a mindset of, I want to teach you how to get on. I'm not looking at you as somebody who might potentially one day be at the auction block, for the same property as me. I don't see it that way. I see it more to the effect of, I want you to get on, and I'm going to show you how. It's not on some, hey, move aside, nigga, I'm stepping into the real estate game. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the dudes who do it with tech in any industry. If you're on here teaching, somebody something, even though when you teach somebody tech, they don't necessarily become your competitors later on in life. It's highly unlikely, but y'all see where I'm going with this. I just can't stand that whole, last nigga standing. Hit the like button.
The last 24 hours for me have been very hectic in the community we call Black YouTube, because yesterday I released this video called JustPearlyThings Just Disrespected Black People in the Worst Way. And this video has over 104,000 views in the first 24 hours, almost 5,000 comments, which is a really good video for a channel of my size. And while so many people agreed with my sentiments in the video, very many didn't. But before I get into the monologue of what I want to discuss today, or kind of more of the centerpiece of the discussion, I want to play the two clips in particular back to back so that you'll see why I am doing what I'm doing. And I'll just use those two clips and then I'll come back.
He meant was the Holocaust was not special and all countries have done that.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
so you're saying, why is the Holocaust special?
Yeah, basically.
Oh. What do you mean, basically?
Well, yeah, I mean, because of course, we're getting into the detail.
If you're not smart enough to counter that, Pearl, why is it special? Then you shouldn't have interviews with people like this.
But yeah, that's the gist.
Yeah, I mean, but you kind of deny it happened.
Yeah, I deny some of the parts of it.
You deny parts of it don't seem realistic to you. You
Right.
think they're embellished upon.
I think they're embellished, yeah.
The same way. This sounds. Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
They're gonna be.
Now, I want y'all to remember that this conversation began with her talking about the Holocaust. This began with her talking about the Holocaust, and that's very important, and it's going to become very important in what's about to be said.
This sounds similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do, is they embellish. And I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was.
Right.
But they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control.
Roots did not make it more horrible. It made it less. You didn't see Roots. It made it less horrible. At the end, they were freed by the good white man. It made it less horrible. Jesus.
People. I was like, stop, no. They all said I was crazy. Who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? Austin.
Well, but hey.
I don't know what that was. Was she talking about Austin Holloman or What the hell was that?
The founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do, is they embellish, and I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was.
Right.
But they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people. I was like, stop, no. They all said I was crazy. Who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? Austin.
Nobody's laughing except you. You're laughing in the same paragraph of Holocaust and slavery. And you're saying, who's laughing now? You're stupid. Really shows how your brain is wired. It really says something about how your brain is wired. I can't, like, there's certain things, and as y'all know, I'm a funny motherfucker. And I can make jokes out of everything. But really? So yeah, Holocaust and slavery and blah, 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 blah. Like, oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, AIDS and cancer and it's like, whoa, your brain not correct. Your brain's not correct.
Well, but you're very industrious.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that would like to be a YouTuber because they'd like people to care about their opinions of like what they ate for lunch and, things about my life that just make sense or whatever. Mm-hmm. But how many people can make a company and deal with the things you deal with, like recruiting and, because I'm not on the same scale as you, but I do things and it's tough. It's a business. Mm-hmm. It's fun in front of the camera, but behind the scenes, it's a business. Mm-hmm. And that is a German attribute, to be industrious. I'm Italian. The only times I'm on time for things is when I get the time wrong, when I think I'm supposed to be there way earlier than I'm actually supposed to be there. Because I thought I was supposed to be here at 3.
Okay. So in addition to God's chosen, little hat, these are fancy ways of saying Jewish people. But in addition to that, she's laughing at they're talking about Italians. I want to go further with this. So just keep this in your mind when I go further. Hit the like button.
That's why I texted you. I texted you I'm on my way because I thought I was already 10 minutes late when I was leaving.
Yeah, well, it's okay. Blessing was more late African.
Well, he's black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, here's what's interesting. And this is what really sucks about the modern dynamics of the world, the West, particularly for Black men. Black men are losers in the oppression Olympics because we are a single minority. So if you look at it like this, if you look at privilege being privilege and oppression being privilege, because oppression can be used as privilege. If you claim oppression, Western society attempts to balance the scale. So you can say, I'm this and I'm this and I'm this and I'm this. Gimme, 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 gimme. But the more thises you have, the more you benefit from oppression, because you can trump the person who only has one this. For example, a black man says, hey, I'm black and I'm a man, and I should get this job under affirmative action. And then somebody comes and says, yeah, well, I'm black and a woman, that's two oppressions, and I get this. And then a third person comes and say, yeah, I'm black, woman, and handicapped, so I get it over this person, and so on and so forth. So that being said, and this is what's really going to hit people hard, black men hard. Theoretically, we are in the same boat as white women. Both white women and black men are single, are single minorities, even though women aren't even minorities because it's more of them. But we're going to pretend like we're stupid for a second. We're in the same boat. So basically, you know how society sees white women as privileged? They actually see black men as privileged. Because this is what I mean. Hear me out now. Essentially, we have a situation where your boss openly said something about you individually in a public way in front of everybody. Picture this. You work at an accounting firm, right? You work at an accounting firm. And there is a white man who sits down with another white man and says in front of his secretary, who is a black woman, she's always late, but she's black and she's a woman. And they both laugh on camera. You think he's not going to get sued? Now, she can't really get fired because she works for herself. But you think that she's not going to get sued? Or you think that he's not going to get sued? But her employee don't have this. It doesn't have the same umph because he's a single minority and so is she in society's eyes. That is disrespectful as hell. And I'm not even talking about to the plurality of black people. That's not really as impactful. I'm talking about to the individual. Having your individual name associated with the late African is wow. Wow. He goes on another job interview because, if he's likely a contractor, I doubt that this is his only gig. It's like, oh yeah, you're that late guy. Of course he's going to put, a platform this big on his resume. Like, oh yeah, you're that late guy.
I get the time wrong when I think I'm supposed to be there way earlier than I'm actually supposed to be there. Because I thought I was supposed to be here at 3. That's why I texted you. I texted you I'm on my way because I thought I was already 10 minutes late when I was leaving.
Yeah, well, so, it's okay. Blessing was more late African.
Well, he's black.
Yeah.
So the person that she...
So even if he didn't say because he's black and she laughed, which once again falls under stupid category in my opinion. Even if that aspect didn't happen, you just like on your platform in front of, probably millions of people by now, just outed your employee. Just saying.
Is talking to is Nick Fuentes. This is important. Nick Fuentes. Now, who is Nick Fuentes? Well, don't take my word for it. Let's go to more of a reputable source. Nick Fuentes, if you look at him on Wikipedia, what does it say? And I know that Wikipedia can be off sometimes, but this seems to be what I would see from what I've researched about him accurate. It says this: sad music. Nicholas Joseph Fuentes, born August 18th, 1998, is an American white supremacist political commentator and live streamer. A former YouTuber, his channel was permanently suspended in February 2020 for violating YouTube's hate speech policy.
Now, stop there for a second and think about what just happened for a second. And this, once again, goes under the stupid category. Think about what just happened for a second. YouTube kicked him off of YouTube. And you brought him back to it. YouTube kicked him out. They said, we do not want you here. And you brought that person back. Now, think about what that means for a second. Or let's put this on a smaller scale. And this is where the socially unadjusted accusation comes in that I gave on Pearl before. This is where because she's very young, so she's very close to high school age. And I got a feeling she was a bit of an outcast there. And here's why. Here's why. For those of us who were invited to parties, say you have a friend that throws all the best parties, right? And, one day this friend says, yeah, I'm inviting everybody, but I'm not inviting this dude. This dude, he's problematic. He's going to cause trouble. I'm not going to invite this dude. And then you come along, you gain some popularity, and then you invite the person to the party that the host said, I don't want at the party. Y'all see what's happening here? She's given a voice to someone that YouTube itself don't want to have a voice. So she's really lending her platform to white supremacy. And Pearl, if you're watching, and you hear me calling you stupid, know that that's being polite. Know that I am being polite when I call you stupid. And the reason for that is, absent that, you're in cahoots. It's deliberate. You're doing stuff like this deliberately. You are the person that feels that white supremacists should have a voice to large groups of people. So it's really one of those two things. It's either you're stupid or you believe that white supremacists should have a comfortable space to spill their rhetoric. One or the other. So yeah, stupid would be a compliment. Or it's not a compliment, but it's a mercy.
Is known for holding anti-Semitic views and denying the Holocaust. Fuentes identifies as a member of the incel movement and as a supporter of authoritarian government and a Catholic integralist and a Christian nationalist. Let me click on the term of white supremacist. Okay? White supremacy is the belief that white people are superior to those of other races and thus should dominate them. The belief favors the maintenance and defense of any power and privilege held by white people. White supremacy has its roots in now discredited doctrine of scientific racism and was the key justification for European colonialism. So I just want to put myself into her shoes, okay? Now, if she is not a racist person, let's just think about this. She's made the majority of her money trying to do a lot of collaborations with Black YouTubers. She's even tried to reach out to me before. Of course, that's a no-go, all right? But if you look at the people that she brings onto her channel, Brittany Renner, recently MTR, which is Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, people like that, she's trying to build somewhat of a team based on the Black community. A lot of people work for her are Black, all right? Just Black. So that we know. We know that from just looking at her live streams. Look at her thumbnails. Most of the people are who? Black. Melody King? Black. Okay, so follow what I'm saying. You have Black people who come.
Somebody says she might be ignorant but not stupid. A person can be creative and innovative and still be stupid. Let's not go there. Let's not pretend like we don't have people who have done spectacular things but are still anyway.
Into your studio, and then you fly out an American white supremacist who, based off his theory, looks at Black people as below him. That's what all white supremacists do. It doesn't matter if they like Black people, if they like Black individuals. Some people even sleep with Black people. But the core values are what? Whites should rule over Blacks because we are better than them. Then you mentioned that the person comes late. She's African. Then you talk to him about, you don't think that slavery is a real thing or it didn't happen to that much in front of the Black people that you hire. Now, I want you guys to put yourself in the shoes, right? In these shoes. Imagine you lived in Israel.
Very true statement that he just said.
You had a podcast called JustPearlyThings. Could you invite Nick Fuentes, who's anti-Semitic, into that podcast in Bethlehem, Israel, or in Jerusalem, or any big city there? And then you have
Okay, and here's where he's losing me.
Jewish people that work for you, and let's say they're late. Can you say, sad music, haha, you're late, Jewish person? No.
Okay. I hate this. And shout out to Chantel, not Chantel, but shout out to Danica Marie. I mean, shout out to Chantel too, but shout out to Danica Marie. Because her and Six talked about this, and they were like, the Jews don't let people get away with this. Jewish people don't let people get away with this, because they are God's chosen, and they don't let people get away with. In the same breath, in the same paragraph, they were talking about Black people being late, or talking about, they were talking about slavery. They were also talking about that 6 million people thing that happened in Germany during World War II. What are you talking about? He's a bad thing that happened to 6 million people in Germany. Denier. He just said that. What he said was just as insulting. Well, I'm not going to compare struggles, but what he said was as insulting. But who do y'all hear more talking about Pearl? Who do y'all hear cancel? They wouldn't let him talk about the God's chosen like that. He just did. He just did. But this is pro-Black's way of saying you should do what we think that they would do. Well, he kind of had, ignorant statements about, a tragic event that happened to them, just like they had ignorant statements about tragic events that happened to us. So, but we seem to be the hit dog that's hollering louder. Just saying. Once again, he wouldn't do that to them. He really just did.
You could never say that, right? The Jews would never even allow you to come there. You would immediately be shut down. But here's how other Black people who comment on my channel take it. Let's look at Lucky and M. I believe in calling a spade a spade. She didn't say anything that isn't true, though, at least not for everyone. You ever heard of African time? No one is perfect at the end of the day. Yes, too bad, Lucky. She is saying that in front of a white supremacist, which you give that a complete pass, right? And again, it's okay if it's a white woman. That's why nobody who thinks like Lucky Enam will ever have anything. Nobody will ever respect anybody who thinks like him, okay? No Jewish person thinks like this and successful. No Asian person thinks like this and successful. Blacks think like that and have nothing based on that. It's okay in calling a spade, even if it's in front of a white supremacist who feel that your Black employees are genetically less than he is.
And that's the difference that I wanted to focus on. And this goes back to what I was saying about, the move aside, Dr. Umar Johnson, you got competition. And this goes into the different mentalities between MTR and ODJ. Why is he attacking Black men in particular over this? Because MTR approach his focus was on where it should be. And that's on this ditzy broad and this stupid nigga. The one on the screen. Like that's who the focus should be on. But Oshay, he's taking it to a different place. He's blaming the whole manosphere and he's disassociating himself, hopefully to get the moderate female subscribers that Kevin Samuels had.
Let's look at somebody else. Christopher Walker on my video commented, maybe I'm a part of the minority, but I don't really see what she did wrong exactly. I am a Black person who is most definitely pro-Black, but I don't see the extreme nature of the situation, especially within the context. With the context, this is where he's really messed up. How can you be a pro-Black person and you're okay with a white person who has hired Black people having a conversation with a white supremacist and you call yourself pro-Black? This is how sick some...
Okay, here's the thing. You could be pro-Black and not go off on every little thing. Like, okay. What pro-Blacks tend to do is they try to make qualifiers on what pro-Black is. How can you be a pro-Black and you sleeping with a white woman? Because I like white pussy. I want Black people to exceed and thrive, and I like it when a white woman sucks my dick. That's how. How can you be pro-Black and you have a job working for the man? Because I like having money. And for the time being, this is the best way that I found to do that. How can you be pro-Black and you in the military? Because I want to retire early. I want Black people to thrive and excel, and I want to retire at 38. How can you be pro-Black? So it goes on and on. It goes on, and really that's just their way of saying, I am the only real pro-Black. Reminds me of that scene from Boondocks, right? Huey Freeman, because of a funeral, goes back to his hometown of, I think, Chicago or Detroit, one of the two, right? I think it's, but I'm almost certain it was Chicago. And where he meets his old best friend. Now, Huey Newton is a pro-Black. That's his character. And I'm sure everybody here has seen the Boondocks. And his old friend from Chicago got a new best friend named Dewey, who was also pro-black, but he was a whole different type of pro-black. You know, like Huey was more of the militant, you know, like guns, bullets, and no bullshit, and you know, I'm studying my martial arts, and you know, and I'm hitting the gun range, you know, twice a day type. He was that type. And the other dude was on some Daishiki poem dreads, pro-black. And then he came at Huey like, wait a minute. Where's your poems? Where's your Daishiki? Where's your capri pants? I can't believe this. How you gonna be a revolutionary, nigga? And you ain't got no poems. It's like, wait, what? What the fuck? So there's always this question of how you feel a person should contribute to pro-blackness. Somebody said, what are you talking about? You talking about me, or are you talking about the show? Listen, if you don't see the show, if you've seen the show, then you've seen it. And if you don't, you don't. Anyway, so that's what he's doing to this dude. Like a white person said something to another white person on a white continent. And this person is like, yeah, okay, I see it was bad, but it's not the end of the world. Oh, how can you be pro-black and not be as pissed off at this as I am?
Brothers are. I'm telling you, you expect some brothers like this. No disrespect to the brother, but this is why black men don't have anything. So what, Brother Walker? He's not a pro-black. You cannot be pro anything. Being okay with a white supremacist, making a joke about blacks, I don't care if it's true or not. No other group who is pro their people will ever accept that. But that's what's wrong with woke pro-blacks. Phony, lukewarm pro-blacks. You can never be like this and because you're pro-black. You're pro-buffoon in that thinking, but you're definitely not pro-black. Let's continue. The first accusation was a big string and a reach, but the second accusation was a huge reach too. Okay, so the first accusation was a reach. You talking about, Jason, from Black's video about, you know, Africans being late. And the second accusation was a huge reach too, right? The second accusation was brought up because the stigma of black people being late is a stereotype we participated. She didn't say the guy's name because he's black. She said the guy's name because he was late and is late most of the time. She said African, then she laughed after the guy said he's black. Dima, stop the show. Dima, go back once the guy said, oh, he's late because he's black. And look at how she laughed after that.
Well, so, okay, Blessing was more late.
In front of the black person talking to the white supremacist, Mr. Walker, let's go. That ironically goes with stereotype that is portrayed towards black people. Then the male gets entertained her statement by saying because he's black. But the context given is Pearl in the wrong for stating that her employee was on time, who is usually late by her joke. Again, context in the same way the guest white male is always late but showing up on time. So she's talking to a white supremacist who don't like black people, brother. The fact she even had that conversation.
Okay, I agree. I agree that that dude don't really understand it. Like, however, it's not, I don't really have nothing against him. Like, he don't see the situation the way I do. And Bernard don't see the situation the way I do. And Fantastic don't see the situation the way I do. But at the end of the day, if you're pro-black, then there's no sense in going at these dudes, especially when you're basically going at brothers for not viewing the situation the way you view it, as opposed to using your power as an influence to tell them how you view it. Influence them to view it your way.
Conversation with black people in the room is the wrong thing. That's why you brothers don't have nothing. That's why you're at the bottom of the barrel. That's why your women don't respect you. Don't.
So according to this, if a person don't have nothing, it's because they're not pissed off at Pearl. Is essentially what's going on. Like, you don't have nothing because you are not pissed off enough at something that a white woman laughed at in Europe. That's why you don't have anything. Ever notice that, and I'm talking about, like, okay, for example, there had some event where it was a bunch of Antifa types, and it was a bunch of Tiki Torch types, and they collided somewhere, I forget where, and a chick got ran over, and then they started canceling people, and they canceled one dude, one white supremacist, or one Tiki Torch dude. I'm just calling him Tiki Torch dude. He got canceled. Guess what his job was? He worked at a hot dog stand. I think it was here in California. He worked at a hot dog stand. So why don't he have nothing? I mean, he's obviously on this racial hierarchy type stuff, right? Why don't he don't even own the hot dog stand that he works. He worked at a hot dog. I didn't even know that was possible. I assumed that every hot dog stand was an owner operator. Like, why are these dudes in trailer parks? And they act like, these super pro white supremacy types are rich. According to what was just said, it's as if the reason why we're the poorest because we aren't hyper focused on crap like this. But the poorest amongst us seem to be. When was the last time y'all heard Robert Smith on some hotep? In fact, why isn't he complaining about this? Why isn't Ben Carson, a pediatric neurosurgeon, why isn't he complaining about this? You're poor because you don't bitch about white supremacy enough. Get the fuck.
Nobody respect you because black men, sometimes, not every black man, right? But y'all will make an excuse for buffoonery for other people to keep disrespecting you, and you wonder why you don't have nothing. That thinking right there. That's why black women don't respect you, brothers. That's why the white men don't respect you, brothers. And don't nobody take y'all serious that think like that. I'm sorry, I gotta tell the truth. No person of any race who love their people can accept that. That's why immigrants have things and we don't have nothing in the black community, because of brothers who stink like that. But a white person, if you did that, they're going to slap you or they're going to try to get rid of you. Jews going to persecute you if you talk about them. Asians going to go to the Spotify and get your albums released.
Since when? Since when? Nobody cancels more than black people. Nobody cries foul more than black people. He ain't lying, though. Is he? Is he not really? Okay, I'll bite. What was the last major Asian complaint? Here, let me take my shoes off while I wait for an answer to that. What was the last major Asian complaint? All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. There wasn't one. There wasn't one. This whole thing, this whole narrative that other groups, other ethnic groups are successful because they bitch about white supremacy more is ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. It's creating a false world where there's success in bitching about white supremacy. What do you mean about Asian complaints? Okay, I'll bite on that for a second. When was the last time a white man said something about a white woman said something anti-Asian to a white man and they bitched about it? Like their success isn't based on having a culture that promotes healthy family structure and focuses on the academic and intellectual success of the children. No, their success is due to them bitching about whitey. That's where their success comes from. Other groups don't allow disrespect. Okay. Now you want to say stuff. Now y'all want to say stuff. I got stuff to say too. Since we're talking shit. All right, hold on. Now, since we're in the process of talking shit, let's talk some. Let's talk about this. All right. This is a picture from a movie called The Last Samurai. This features the whitest person I know of, Tom Cruise, going to Japan and out samuraiing the samurais because he had a 2.5-week training course. And all of a sudden, he is kung fu fighting. He is teaching he is the white savior of Japan. This is cultural appropriation at its worst. This is historical disrespect at its worst. He basically went and taught the Asians how to Asian. Where was the Ungawa Asian power? Where was that at? Where was the Chan X? The Martin Luther Chew? Where was that at? Where was the uproar? I'm not even gonna get all the pictures, but yeah, they don't bitch like that. Why? Because they said like 50 Cent. If they gonna hate, let them hate and watch your money pile up. Okay, it's different to say stop whooping my ass, you dumb niggas, than it is to bitch about two white people's conversation in Europe. A society's power does not come from bitching at petty stuff. That's what I'm saying. Jesus. Pick your battles. Oh, damn it. I done lost my place fucking with y'all. All right, hold up. Yeah, I done lost my place. Hit the like button.
The last 24 hours.
Where's my place? Where's my place? All right, he was talking about that. Okay, it's right around here. All right, so let me go again. And another thing, did they go and beat up other Asian people? Like, did they attack other Asian people? Or did they just, petition for equal protection under the law?
Same with the guest white male is always late but showing up on time too. She's talking to a white supremacist who don't like black people, brother. The fact she even had that conversation with black people in the room is the wrong thing. That's why you brothers don't have nothing. That's why you're at the bottom of the barrel. That's why your women don't respect you. Don't nobody respect you because black men, sometimes, not every black man, right? But y'all will make an excuse for buffoonery for other people to keep disrespecting you, and you wonder why you don't have nothing. That thinking right there. That's why black women don't respect you, brothers. That's why the white men don't respect you, brothers.
And that's what he's doing. Basically, what he's saying here, and this message is to black women and white men. He's essentially saying you are justified for being disrespectful to black men because they don't bitch about Pearl enough. Like, yeah, you should disrespect them because they don't complain about just pearly things enough. He's giving them ammunition. And that's why these bitches act like that. Truth be told. That's why everything you hold them accountable for, they deflect. Because shit like this. You tell a chick something. Like, hey girl, I noticed you've been putting on some weight. And you smell weird. Oh, yeah, but you're not doing nothing about that 24-year-old white kid in England, are you? What the fuck, bitch? Take a bath and lose some weight. What in the fuck? I don't respect you. Bitch, leave. If you are looking for justification and disrespect, you wonder why they don't respect you because you don't complain about white supremacy. Shut the fuck up.
And don't nobody take y'all serious that think like that. I'm sorry, I gotta tell the truth. No person of any race who love their people can accept that. That's why immigrants have things and we don't have nothing in the black community, because a brother who stink like that. But a white person, if you did that, they're going to slap you or they're going to try to get rid of you. Jews going to persecute you if you talk about...
Ain't this a bitch? I don't know who it was. And if it's you or if y'all know who it was, shout yourself out. Y'all know those Hebrew Israelites that stand on the corner? We don't have many of those here. I think it's the East Coast thing, but I do know that they exist here. So apparently it's brothers that stand on the corner with a Bible in hand, wearing purple, talking shit. It was literally, hold on. Let me see if I can find that. It was literally white people kissing their feet. In public, on camera, all that. You know, in the middle of like Times Square or some shit like that. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that. Here it is. Here it is. Hold up. I see it on the thumbnail. Now I'm just cue it up to the literal foot kissing part. All right, hit the like button while I cue this up. In fact, let me see how many likes I got, because y'all be on some dumb shit. Check on my phone. I hate this. I'm not, and it's not that I have something against the t-shirt. I have some. The commercial is too many places. All right, let me see. How many likes I got? Yeah, let me get 10 more. Greatly appreciate you. Let me get 10 more likes. All right. So look at this shit. Wait, is this not the one? Because the one I seen before had a white woman doing it, but nevertheless, I think he's gonna kiss the. Oh yeah, there he is. Okay, so yeah, there he is with the shoe. Yeah, there he goes. I don't know, but I do know that, and apparently this is another, because I just typed in white person kissing Hebrew Israelites' feet. So I typed this in, and more stuff like this came out. Does that stop? Does him doing that stop white supremacy? Does that stop white supremacy? Like, who's saying, oh, the reason why, white people don't have no power because y'all kissing the feet of black supremacists or black nationalists? You got white people literally kissing their feet. But let a black person not get angry enough, and we the problem. We the cause of poverty. We the cause of oppression for not being pissed enough. Jesus fucking Christ.
Asians gonna go to the Spotify and get your albums released. If you even talk about Chinese people, Asian people, gays, the same thing, but the black person makes excuses for why other folks disrespect.
And where's the white people? Where's the white people that's petitioning? Oh, they'll take you down if you talk about them. When did they take Cynthia G down? Because we know black women take Tommy Sotomayor down. When do white people take Cynthia G down? They all kind of Neanderthal cave people of no color. Every type of insult you could think that you can say, she said on a day, every day. Trying to make it seem like somebody that other groups of people are more successful because they out bitch us. Because they don't bitch because they bitch about stuff more than us. Like that's the key to their success. And I wish I could find that freaking foot kiss one. Oh, and by the way, the ability to accept to make light of something is a power move. It is a power move. That's why Will Smith looked like a bitch ass nigga for the shit he did. People in power don't give a fuck about what the court gestures say. You think the king give a shit about what the court gestures say? He don't give a shit. Why? Because he's in power. And that's why white people don't get pissed when black people tell black jokes. Or, excuse me, tell white jokes. Why? Because they are in power. Play some more. Oh,
that's why you don't.
Wait a minute. Let me present again.
Have nothing as blacks. Let's talk about this. Brian Brown stops. There's plenty of truth to it. Americans are lazy, especially the black race. I don't know who this person is. This person, let's assume he's black. Now, Americans can be lazy, and some blacks are lazy. But if black people are lazy, brother, how are they 20% of the military? Can't be 20% of the military and you lazy, or in sports and you lazy, or in healthcare and you lazy. Most black people work a full-time job, pay taxes. Can't be lazy when in slavery, the black was developing the country based off the slave labor. See, people who perpetuate these stereotypes about the people, that's why you don't have them. Stop.
Oh my God.
Groups disrespect the black community. And this is why when y'all go to other communities, they look at.
Now, I do agree with not perpetuating negative stereotypes. I do agree with Oshay on that. Now, I don't think that that's the reason why black people are collectively poor, but that most certainly don't help with the problem.
So funny, some of y'all brothers, not everybody. And then you think that somebody's going to come and support you. The Asian man, the white man.
Exactly. When did they? So did white people cancel the Jeffersons? Shout out to rest in peace, Sherman. Somebody tell me his last name, but rest in peace, George Jefferson. Nothing was funnier than me than as a kid watching in syndication a 5'0" bald black man wake up in the morning and call a white dude honky. It wasn't beeped out, it wasn't edited out, nothing. Every single day, he woke up and called his neighbors a cracker. Sherman Hemsley, thank you. Every single day, that's what he did. He woke up in the morning and talked shit, to a 6'4" white dude that's rich. but they're successful because they bitch about stuff like that. No, they don't have to bitch about stuff like that because they're successful. They could just laugh and move on.
He got pride. He can never forget where he came from.
He got pride. He could never forget where he came from. He was just kissing a Hebrew Israelite's foot.
Let nobody talk about him this way. But the black man is twiddling his thumbs. Some of my brothers is thinking like this. The lady is being disrespectful just by having a white supremacist there, brother. In the room with the blacks. It's already out of pocket. I could never bring a white supremacist. I have Africans here. I could never bring somebody in the room that is a white supremacist and have a conversation with them knowing I got black employees or African employees. I just can't even fix my mouth to do that. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Oshay Duke Jackson.
Okay. Do I have time? No, it's about to be 2 hours. So yeah, I'm gonna end it right there. What's this? Yeah, so I'm gonna end it right there. And in the stream, y'all make sure y'all, let me check the likes before I go. Y'all didn't give me. Oh, let me refresh it. Hold on. Check the likes. All right, let me get 2 more because I asked for 10. I was at 128. So I'm 136. So let me get 2 more, y'all. So I'm running out of spit. In conclusion, this is what I want to say. The difference between how they handle it is one of them, Oshay Duke Jackson, was apt to attack black men. He, just from the Dr. Umar Johnson comment, he made it clear that he sees black men as competition, something to compete against, something to fight against. And he sees white people, he sees black men as competition. And when he had he's seen the manosphere as competition. So when he had the opportunity to shoot at them I don't even want to get into them or us or anything, but when he had an opportunity to shoot, he took it. See, fellas, make no mistake. And when people say read the room, what they really mean is understand the tone of your environment, outside of what you can see or hear. And here's what's the tone of the environment of this whole gender war thing as it exists now. Now what we're experiencing is the rise of the level 2 BFF. You could call it chameleonism. You can call it whatever. You can really call it whatever. But we have the rise of a new wave of black women. And these are women who aren't Keisha. Let's be clear. They are not overtly Keisha. And they want the same deal that their mother got. That is a growing demographic of black women. Average at best would fall into that demographic, mostly. Many of the callers of the Kevin Samuels show would fall into that demographic, meaning I want to be Keisha, but I don't want to be treated like Keisha. And what they are willing to do is, and this is the compromise that they're offering right now, is that, okay, as long as you stop besmirching our reputation, we will be a slightly better bitch than Keisha. Until we are put in a position to where we don't have to be that. So now we have this wave of black men come back, black women. Or as Courtney Michelle would say, what is it? Stab, stay, or steal their black ass back. Or no, save your community, black men. They're like, oh no, we'll behave. Look at my tits, we'll behave. I'm light skinned. Look at, you know, there's this new wave of that. And that would, appealing to that group, would boost you in the algorithm. It would. Make no mistake, it would. That is the centerpiece of Kevin Samuel's success. The ability to have an endless supply of callers like that is the centerpiece of his success. The quote unquote meet me halfway type black chick. But, and this is where Courtney Michelle differs from Chantel Simone. And shout out to MTR for bringing her name up in his list. His list is very similar to mine of you know, black women that I fucks with. This is where they diverge, because Courtney Michelle is more on the, you know, okay, I won't be overtly ratchet or disrespectful as long as you come back, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Chantel Simone is like, listen, go for the best option possible. Because it's a difference between trying to be the best person you possibly can be for your mate versus trying to be good enough or better than the worst option that mate had before. So we have these groups of women who are slightly better than Keisha, trying to sell themselves to you at an exorbitant price. Anyway, that's a whole nother video. I want to thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats, managers and moderators, those who are listening silently, and those who participate in the chat. My next video likely is going to be, because people are sending me this, I'm looking at it now, because I was looking for Cash Apps before I went, but the arrest of Jonathan Majors. So stay tuned for that. Cash App, Super Chats, managers and moderators, those who are listening silently, those who participate in the chat, hit that like button on your way out. It's Game Changer 00100. I'd like to thank the members as well. Game over. Peace.